you could always go back and watch depending on what you are interested in looking at, which everyone should watch. If you're a delegate and you're going to be voting, please make sure to rewatch everything and look at the documents at the end. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to stop sharing this, go back to the main screen. Stop sharing. Teams does not like me, apparently. I think I stopped sharing. Okay, cool. And it looks like we're recording. Perfect. Okay. I just have to pull up my little doc. Sorry, guys. You'll realize one thing about me is I'm not the greatest at technology, so I'm just going to have to bear with me. I wish I could blame my age, but it's not my age because I have no excuse. Okay, so the first position that I'm going to be questioning for is the CC. So everyone but Lauren leave. So Mo Tiet, leave, please, because you're the only one that is running as well for this position. So Lauren is going to be answering questions first. Okay, Lauren, you can talk. Do you have a question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Did Motiat leave? It looks like she did. Okay. I don't see her on the list, so we are just going to continue. Okay, Lauren, so I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Again, keep in mind that you have 2 minutes to answer each question. Sorry, so I'm going to be timing you. And hopefully I don't cut you off mid-answer. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so the first question from the election committee is, in your opinion, what are some of the essential strengths and skills that the CC should have?
Okay, thank you for the question. So one of the skills is for sure be a good team leader and team player, because you need to work with a big team. Also, you need to overlook the whole situation and plan ahead. For example, with the committee workshops for the events or for the handover documents. Also, it's very important to communicate with everyone very well, with ExCo, the chairs, the secretaries. And my experience with working in a team has shown me that it's very important to listen to people and to understand their views and needs. And also, it's very important to be creative, to understand complex issues and come up with good solutions. Yeah. Of course, also time management is very important, and you need to delegate tasks and also to involve and trust your secretaries, I guess, because they can help you a lot during the term. So yeah, I think that's not 2 minutes, but I will leave it with that.
Okay. Yeah, you finished early, so that's good. Thank you for keeping track of your time. I appreciate it. Okay. Second question. So during your term, you will face chairs being casually busy and demotivated. How do you plan to deal with this?
Yeah, that's another good question. Thank you. So it's of course, we're students, so we will be busy with exams. We have a lot of projects going on, and so it's very important to talk to each other and plan ahead. Again, this overlooking of the situation, being aware that someone will have a lot of exams next month, so you need to communicate well. It also happened this term that we had to support chairs during their exam period. So this is very important to just be a good team, to trust each other and talk openly. To communicate openly is very important. Also to check in with people regularly to make sure everyone feels still motivated, because if people don't work efficient, I think it's very and are not involved, it's very bad for their motivation. So I guess this is very important. Yeah. Also, if you have a good team and you talk a lot to each other, I think it gives you a lot of motivation. I think we felt this year very harsh that we were not able to have live events, because they're very important for the motivation, I think. Yeah. And just, yeah, have a good plan, involve people in the discussion and take them seriously and listen to their inputs. That's it.
Perfect. Okay, so last question. Dividing your time between all communities, committees, and external work that the CC does is one of the biggest challenges that the CC faces. Do you think you will manage that without neglecting any committee, especially the ones you are less motivated about?
Thank you for the question. So I think it's very important to understand that all committees and communities are there for a reason. So it's no option to neglect one of them just because things are not going well. And I have gained experience when I was leading the activities team for the symposium. And I know how important it is to divide the tasks. And also with the external work, we are still looking to restructure this a little bit, so CC will maybe have less to handle. But otherwise, I am also experienced with external work. So I had this project with the Global Alliance of Rabies Control now, where I tried to involve as many members as possible. So if people still are interested in joining, it's still open. So yes. What else could I say? Yeah, just have a good team, have a good plan for your team. Use Trello, which is an amazing tool to have your checklists and keep track of everything, and which helps to manage your time. That's it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Lauren, for answering our questions. So next off is 3 questions for the floor. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask Lauren? Okay, hold on, bear with me, Etha. Okay, you should be able to talk now. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So my question would be, have you talked with the with our previous CC about any challenges that you might have during the term, and just how to prepare for this position?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the question, Isa. So I have talked to Nina, of course. I'm also her secretary at the moment, and we had a talk about what would I have to expect, which is very cool. Additionally, I talked to 2 other former CCs, had a big discussion about secretary management, also about the external work the CC does, and how to actually improve the structure a little bit. And also, I think it's about the committees, how we can put them in a much better position as they are currently, but because they keep growing. So and I think they're a very cool project actually within IVSA, and we definitely need to support this. So yes, I have talked to 3 former CCs.
Okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying this.
You're welcome.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your question. Okay, so let me allow Anina. You can now ask your question.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for my question is, how would you assist the chairs in leading their teams, and what advice would you give them if there were any issues with the committee members' involvement?
Okay, so I think when I was a committee member, it was sometimes very difficult for me to understand the whole picture of IVSA Global. So I will make sure that all committee members also understand how the structure works within IVSA, which gives them a lot of background knowledge. I mean, people always think, why do I have to answer my emails within 48 hours? But if they have this knowledge that, well, there's a whole chain of getting approval from ExCo and working on projects, doing the graphics, and we need the information. And if one little, like those wheels of the setting icon, you know, which turns and everything turns as well. If one of those falls off, nothing will work. So it's very important for the members to have this this background knowledge of what IVSA Global actually includes. Yeah, I think this is very helpful for them to know, and yeah, also to check in with the chairs if they're just doing everything on their own or actually dividing the task and support it there. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Okay, perfect. Oh, and we is that it for questions? We could take one more if someone else has a question. Nina, do you have another question, or did you just forget to lower your hand?
If
Okay,
you guys,
thank
yeah. Otherwise, just read my nominee form and you can contact me anytime if you have any questions.
Okay, nobody else has any questions? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, Lauren, if you could please leave the meeting for our discussion. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, did he leave? I think he left. I don't see his name.
He has
okay,
left.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so we can have a positive comment and a negative comment. So if someone wants to do, we could do the negative comment first. If anyone has a negative comment, and keep aware you have 1 minute. Any negative comments? Nope. Going once, going twice, not sold. All right. What about a positive comment? Oh, okay, there we go, Lisa. All right, Lisa, I'm going to allow you to speak. There we go. You have 1 minute.
Hi, I was a bit fast. So for Lurgan, I've met Lurgan unfortunately right before everything moved online in Croatia. And ever since, he's been a very motivated IVSA member that went from a local basis in Switzerland to internationally. And I think Lurgan is a very hardworking person that is willing to take on any challenge. I've easily seen him in like less than a year getting involved with task forces in IVSA and different levels globally. So I think him having that broad experience is really going to help him in a role as CC. And on top of that, he has a really great interest in all the projects and works of committees. So I think that is something that will really benefit him in the future.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. And that is it for Lauren. So bear with me while I text in the chat and try to get Motiep back. Okay, so I texted. We're gonna wait. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Motiep, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. And you have 2 minutes to answer each question. Then afterwards, the floor will ask their own 3 questions, okay?
Yes, okay.
Perfect. So the first question is, in your opinion, what are the essential strengths and skills that the CC should have?
Okay, so in my opinion, I think that the CC should have good leadership skills. The CC should be someone that can bring the committee chairs together and like also be able to oversee activities and make sure that there's no problem and everyone is performing their task well. And also the CC should be someone that has good communication skills as well, where in case of if there is like a problem, conflicts, or any other issues that arise, the CC should be able to meet with everyone and try to find a middle ground, and thereby not being biased when any of these issues arises. And then also I think that the CC should also be able to have a good insight of what the committees are about, and so that in terms of meetings or suggestions for any of the committee chairs or in any situations, the CC should be able to know what to say and also what to do in such situations.
Thank you. Okay, so your second question is, during your term, you will face chairs being occasionally busy and demotivated. How do you plan to deal with that?
Yes, I think that it's 1 year is actually a long period of time, and as a student as well, we all get busy at some point in time, and then it might become a little bit, should I say, overwhelming for the chairs or even for the CC as well. So in times like that, I actually intend to incorporate some form of team building activities for the chairs, and hopefully this takes a bit of the stress off their shoulders and allows them to at least ease off at least during a weekend, because as CC, I'm supposed to be having meetings with them from time to time, and then probably instead of maybe one meeting, we can just have a team building activity where we just get to meet and ease off the stress, and then we get to talk and know where everyone is having issues, or where the problem is coming from generally, and then we can find a solution or a way around it. So that's part of my plans. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And then our last question from the committee. Dividing your time between all the committees and external work that the CC does is one of the biggest challenges you will face. Do you think You will manage that without neglecting any committees, especially the ones you are less motivated about.
Yes, I think so, because I think I'll be able to manage that, because actually I'm going to my final year, and of course it might be challenging for me as a student, but then I also think that I have more time to actively participate in other activities aside my schoolwork. That's the first thing. And then I don't think, okay, well, I don't know, but I think that there won't be committees that I'm less motivated about, because as chair, I've actually worked with most of the other committees, and I think that and that's part of the reasons why I ran for the position. So I think that it should not be a problem, and I'll have time to actually work with all of them.
Okay, thank you, Motiet. We're gonna now allow questions from the floor. So remember, there are 3 questions that you can ask. And then Motiet, you still have 2 minutes to answer each of those questions. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you, Lisa. You may now speak. Or not. Hold on. Okay, now you can speak.
You accidentally muted me again. There you go. Hi, Mucha. The question I have is, I was wondering if you have been in touch and spoke to previous CCs to learn from their experiences.
Yes, I've been in touch with Nina, the previous CC that was CC during my term as chair of school, and I've had meetings with her to try and know where I can come in, or yeah, basically I've been in touch with previous CC, Nina Vesage, and that's previously the only CC that I've been in contact with, actually.
Okay. Thank you for that, Lisa. Is there another question? Oh, Nina. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can. Oh, never mind. Wait, yes. Why can't? Okay. All right, Nina, you can now speak, hopefully. Nina, I love you. Have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. Nina, do you not have a mic? Wait, just unmute yourself. You should be able to. Just hit the button.
No, Ellen, like it happens, like it's a bug in Teams. So Nina, if you really can't unmute it, even though it says that you can, just type.
Darn you, Teams. Okay. Nina, if you can just type your question and I'll read it. Sorry.
So Ellen, maybe if you allow me, I can ask another question in the meantime. Is that allowed? While Nina is typing?
Yeah. First, Lisa, let me see if any new people have any questions.
Of course.
Does anyone have any questions? And then you could take it if nobody else raises their hand. No. Okay, Lisa. Yeah, you can ask your questions.
Right, I see Nina is finished, but I'll quickly ask my question then. So over the past few years, I've seen the IVSA committees growing larger and larger. over time. How do you expect to manage this as a CC? Do you think that this should change, or that this has made the work more challenging for the CC?
Well, I think that currently the standing committees that IVSA has currently are very vital. We have One Health, we have the Animal Welfare, and all of the other committees. And I think that they all have like their vital roles to play. If in the next term, IVSA wants to have other standing committees that will be also serving vital roles, I think that that shouldn't be a problem. And shouldn't be a problem for me to manage as CC. And then the 6 committees, we can always have, as I said, it's part of my intentions to meet with the committee chairs. We can have like probably a general meeting and then probably specific meetings afterwards, where if there are like other issues that individually the chairs want to discuss, but generally have a general meeting where we get to talk to everyone. That way it will be easier for me as CC to like get to meet every one of the chairs and get to know where any issues is. And then also if there is like any other specific issues that has to do with a particular committee, then we can out schedule a meeting like one-on-one and get to discuss more. That's how I intend to handle it.
Okay, so I'm going to read Nina's question. Hold on. Okay, so Nina's question is, do you think your previous experience as chair would help you in the CC work, and how?
Yeah, so I think that my previous experience as chair would help me because as chair, I worked with my committee members, and it's okay, more or less working with different people in different positions, overseeing their activities. And I felt that as chair, I was able to bring them together and get the different tasks and campaigns of school accomplished. And I feel that that was like that's an advantage for me so as chair to work as CC. Like that experience is an advantage for me. Also, as I said, there were times when I had to deal with some of my committee members probably being less motivated to work, and then or people not even answering me at all. And I felt that I was able to still manage and still get the work done because like they were like really vital positions, and both people there were not really active at some point in time, and then we're still able to function as a committee properly despite that. So I think that that experience as chair was actually part of my motivation to even run for CC in the first place. And I think that yeah, that's how I think it can help me as committee coordinator. The fact that I was able to bring my committee members together, and also the fact that when we had issues, I was able to find a way to solve them in a good way without actually leading to any problem within the committee. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Motied. I'm going to ask that you leave so we can have our discussion. And then I can message you when you are able to come back into the meeting, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, it looks like she left. Okay, so again, we'll have one positive comment, one negative comment, 1 minute each, please. And we'll start with the negative comment. Does anyone have a negative comment to make? No. Okay. What about a positive comment? There you go. Okay. Miriam, I'm going. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I'm not sure who this is. I think it's Diana. I'm going to allow you to speak.
Sorry, Kushi stole my account to be in the organization, so I need to use this. But yes, Diana Teixeira, IVSA Portugal. So I think Mutiat have the absolutely right experience to be the CC. And as she was commenting in this last question, I definitely defend that for going to the positions, mostly the leadership positions, you really need to pass by the positions that you are actually leading. So Mutiat have this experience by sharing SCO, and myself as a previous ambassador and committee member and now chair understand how essential is to pass through these stages to make sure you can be the best leader that you can be. So I felt that sometimes in the previous CCs, there was a little bit of this lack of experience between passing through all the stages. And I think that Mutiat will be perfect CC because of this. And then I also collaborated really closely with Mutiat this year. You saw,
That was
you saw that we had some projects together on
wait.
Scopely, and she was really supportive with her members, and I know they really
hear
love
me?
her. And then there is another.
Don't make me mute you. I don't know how to mute you. Okay, it's supposed to be a comment for a minute, and you went past a minute, so it's okay. It's okay. So we're good. Okay, so that brings us to the conclusion of the CC. I'm gonna ask everyone to come back, and then we'll move on. So bear with me. Okay, but for the arrow, Yuri, if you could leave, we're gonna start with Navisha first. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, let me confirm that Navisha is actually here. Okay, perfect. I'm going to allow you to speak, Navisha, and I'm going to confirm that Yuri actually left, and he did. Perfect. Okay. Navisha, I'm going to start with the 3 questions from the committee, and then 3 questions from the floor after that. And remember, you have 2 minutes to answer each question. And if you're still going by 2 minutes, I will sadly have to interrupt you. Okay, so first question is, IVSA currently has a lot of sponsors and partners, which is very time consuming. How would you ensure that the long process of establishing a new MOU is followed through during your term? And how do you plan to ensure all IVSA's responsibilities from existing MOUs are acted out?
I'm sorry, it was breaking up a little bit for me. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I can repeat it. It's really long, so hold on. Sorry, it's a long question. Okay, so IVSA currently has a lot of sponsors and partners, which is very time consuming. How would you ensure that the long process of establishing new MOUs is followed through during your term? And how do you plan to ensure all IVSA's responsibilities from existing MOUs are acted out?
All right, thank you. So to answer the first part of the question, yes, IVSA does have a lot of partners and sponsors. But when it comes to writing memorandum of understanding, I don't think it would be as time consuming if I communicate well with the partner or the sponsor, and basically we both communicate with each other what we want out of this partnership or sponsorship. What are we getting out of it? Basically, here to answer this question, communication is key, because once I get my message across and the other party gets their message across, it's not too difficult to come to an understanding. And once you have that understanding, it's kind of easier to put it on paper, so to put it into the MOU. And I'm sorry, could you repeat the second question? It was just too long.
Oh, I totally. Daniel actually put it in the chat. If you actually want to.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, so how do I ensure all of IVSA's responsibilities from existing MOUs are acted out? All right, so yeah, so again, we do have a lot of partners and sponsors, meaning we do have a lot of MOUs. So to ensure that everything in the MOUs are actually being executed, one of the very important things is time management. And I say this because if I am able to manage my time properly, then I am able to actually go through all of the MOUs, study them well, understand what they are for, who they are for, who are they going to benefit, where is it going to. And once I have a clearer picture of what's happening, it will definitely be easier to also execute all these MOUs. And I think it's also very important to point out that if I am elected Arrow, I will have a secretary. And this will also really help because as secretary, I will be able to delegate my tasks or just any extra work that I think I may not be able to handle to the secretary. So delegating tasks, very important, time management, and I think overall just being able to work together in a team really goes a long way when it comes to making sure MOUs are acted out. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. The first question was really long. Okay, so second question. How would you handle a conflict against IVSA MOs?
IVSA MOs?
Yeah, so I can reread it. Oh no, sorry. I'm reading the wrong section. Okay. Sorry, ignore that. That's my fault. This is going great, guys. This is fun. Okay, second question. Being that IVSA officials only serve for a period of 1 year at a time, often happens that relationships with partners and sponsors fade away. How will you make sure partners and sponsors feel inclined to invest into IVSA longer term?
All right. Okay. So all right, I'm so sorry. All right, so when it comes to ensuring, when it comes to keeping our partners and sponsors interested in IVSA long term, I think it revolves around a lot of brainstorming and a lot of discussion with said relation. Of course, first I would tell them all the benefits there is of being in a long-term partnership or sponsorship with IVSA. Promote our brand, promote IVSA, hear their point of view, hear what they have to say, address their doubts and concerns, and ultimately convince them that we are a beneficial investment for them long term. And this can also be achieved through just networking a lot during not just symposiums and congresses, but other IVSA events where they may be present. I think keeping connection with them and constantly communicating with them and showing them what we have to offer, what IVSA has to offer, would definitely be very beneficial in terms of wanting to build long-term relationships with them.
Thank you. Okay, last question. Oh, and it's shorter. Perfect. You miss a deadline with a sponsor and they've lost faith in their relationship with IVSA. What do you plan to do to fix the relationship?
All right. Again, I think here communicating the problem or communicating why the deadline was missed is very important. When it comes to being an external relations officer, you have to be on time when it comes to replying emails. You cannot afford to be late because there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of discussions that take place before you actually come to a concluded decision. So if ever there was a misunderstanding or a missed deadline, I would, of course, apologize to said party and explain to them why this happened and try to convince them that if they could give us a second chance, it could be extremely beneficial to not just IVSA, but to them as well. So to summarize, I would say here communication is key, and just in general for the aero position, making sure what you feel is being said, and also hearing and listening to what is being said to you is just as important.
Okay, perfect. So that was it for questions from the committee. So does anyone have questions for Navisha? Remember, there's 3 questions that the floor can have. Okay, Julia. Whoa, Julia. Whoa. Okay, Julia first. You can speak now, I think. I hope. Julia, are you able to unmute yourself? If not, you can always put in the chat. Okay, so while Julia is asking, I'm actually going to allow someone else to ask the question, and I think Anushka, I'll allow you to speak. Can you speak?
Hi, am I audible?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, so my question to Navisha is, how would focusing on committee and working group development benefit IVSA and its members?
Thank you, Anushka. All right, so just imagine if all 5 of the committees and working group were able to generate activities and events with relevant and up-to-date topics and professional and quality speakers. This means that throughout the term, IVSA members will have an abundance of opportunity to partake in these activities and actually benefit from them. And I also would like to reiterate what Soraya from Wasava mentioned during the partner talks. So she did say something along the lines of how committees are like the pillars or the foundation of an association. So this clearly shows just how important the committees and working group is to IVSA, because they literally represent the themes surrounding veterinary medicine. We have One Health, animal welfare, veterinary education, career attributes, wellness, and then alumni. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So Julia actually typed her question, so I'll read it right now. Besides focusing on committee and working group development, is there anything else you want to achieve?
Thank you. Yes. Besides focusing on community development, I do want to help IVSA members and MOs financially. I know COVID has put a lot of financial strain on many people. It has for me, and I know financial aid is also something that has been an important topic in IVSA. When it comes to like annual membership fees and travel expenses. So one thing that I do plan to do is to, if I am elected, I will definitely have a very thorough discussion with the development aid director, and see how we can use the Aero resources and the DAD resources to help all our members and MOs that are in need of financial aid.
Perfect. Okay, and then Salsa, I think you should be able to speak now, hopefully. No? Okay, can you type it? Okay, sorry. Guys, Teams is just not working right now. I'm sorry. Okay, so it looks like Salsa is typing. Guys, when you guys laugh, you make me laugh. I don't know if you realize. You make me nervous. It might be ridiculous. You're giving me phobia that I maybe should not be the one giving this presentation. Also, Navisha, was that your cat that was screaming?
Oh my god, yeah, I am so sorry about that. She
No,
was ruining this for me. I just needed to be focused, but she was running everywhere. She was jumping on the laptop, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit hard for me to focus. That's also why I couldn't hear your questions. I'm so sorry about that.
oh, you're fine. I feel like cats are just rude. I feel like when they know that you need to focus on something, they're like, no, focus on me. I could ruin this for you.
Yep. She was asleep the entire time. She just had to wake up now.
That's so rude. Oh, so apparently Salsa. Oh, she's calling. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Hello?
Hello, Ellen. I cannot type in the Microsoft Teams, and it was sent, but it failed to send. So maybe you can forward my question through this phone.
Yeah, that's fine. Can you guys hear her if she's talking to me, or do I? Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, say a question.
Hi, Navisha. Have you ever considered to engage more sponsors from different part of the regions to give the opportunity to IVSA? If you did, what is your strategy to persuade them?
All right, thank you. If I understand correctly, I think what you mean is how would I look for sponsors in different regions of the world? Since I know a lot of the people or organizations that we work with are we're European centered. Yeah, so that is a very good question. I think the wise thing to do is to reach out to the regions that I'm trying to find sponsors for. So let's just say, for example, region A has something that they need that I know this sponsor can offer, or I myself go out there and look for a sponsor specifically targeting the specific region. I think, yeah, what I was trying to say was reach out to these regions by contacting the regional representatives. That's why we have them. And of course, setting up a meeting with the MOs of that region and just communicating with them, talking to them, asking them what exactly do they need, how can this sponsor benefit them, and how can they also benefit the sponsors. So yeah, just to summarize, if I'm trying to target a specific region, I would host a meeting with that region and make sure a lot of things are being communicated. And I also think it's important to have the sponsor, the potential sponsor, invited to the meeting, just so that we can have a very proactive discussion. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Navisha. If you could actually leave now, and then we will have our discussion. And then I will invite you later. Okay, let's see. Did she leave? Yep. Okay, so we will start with one negative comment. If anyone has a negative comment. Any negative comments? Wow, you guys are very positive today. A positive comment. Okay, Lauren, I think you should be able to speak now.
Hello, Lorraine von Planta, IVSA Zurich, Switzerland. I would like to make a positive comment about Navisha. She was this year the chair of the Wellness Committee, and she did an amazing job. As a secretary to the CC and Arrow, I joined a meeting with her together with a partner, and I was amazed how well she handled it. And I'm very sure that she will be an excellent Arrow and handle the partner relations very well and in a very professional manner. Yes, and also she has a very good personality. She's a great team worker, and she is also very motivated to work in IVSA Global and also to be involved in discussions outside of the task assigned to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you for keeping within the 1 minute. I appreciate that. Because it's always awkward when I have to mute people. Okay, so I am going to ask Yuri to come back. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here we go. He's coming back. Okay. Okay. Yuri, you should be able to speak now. Can you confirm that?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfect. Okie dokie. Let's get started. So I will ask 3 questions from the committee. You will have 2 minutes to answer each question, and then we'll do 3 questions from the floor. Ready, Freddie?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's begin.
So the first one's really long, so bear with me.
Okay.
All right. So IVSA currently has a lot of sponsors and partners, which is very time consuming. How would you ensure the long process of establishing new MOUs is followed through during your term? And how do you plan to ensure all of IVSA's responsibilities from existing MOUs are acted out? Also, Yuri, this question is posted in the chat. So in case you need to see it, because it was very long.
It's a very long question. But okay, can I start answering?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of time. It's a very time-consuming task, but in order to make things, more objective and faster, I think the two things are very important. So first of all is communication. So having a good communication with the potential partner, and also trying to understand the type of personality that he has or she has, if they are more objective, if they need to be convinced, those kinds of things, they will facilitate the process of signing a MOU. And also is studying them before initiating the conversation. So study the organization or the association, trying to understand what can we offer to them that they might like, and also what they can offer to us. So this will make the process a lot more faster and objective, right? And for the existing MOU that we already had, the first thing is study, right? So you need to go there and study all the MOUs in order to see the deadlines that we have and plan yourself in advance. And also do like a weekly checkout to see, okay, I'm doing this, everything's fine. Oh no, I need to focus more on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Study and good communication with your partners in always, right?
Perfect. Thank you. So the second question is seeing that IVSA officials only serve for a period of 1 year at a time, often happens that relationships with partners and sponsors fade away. How will you make sure that sponsors and partners feel that they can invest in IVSA long term?
Right, that's a very good question. Thank you. So the first thing will be to show them the benefits of investing in us or being our sponsor on the long term, right? So a good thing to do that, a good way to do that is showing them our long-term goals, our long-term objectives, and our mission, right? So they can associate themselves with it. And so they can see, okay, investing in IVSA on the long term is a good idea, right? And also I think, and that's the real challenge, is keeping, for the next Euros to do the same and keeping this transition clear. So for that, I think a good communication with the next Euro and also a good training in the process after the time he's elected or she's elected until the time they assume, you train them well so that you don't have those flaws during the term transitions. I think this is the best way so that we can keep in the long term our partners satisfied and happy.
Thank you. Okay, so last question from me is you miss a deadline with a sponsor and they've lost faith in your relationship with IVSA. What do you plan to do to fix the relationship?
Right. Thanks for this question. That's a very good one. So I guess missing the deadline is like a critical issue because yes, Aero, our partners and their deadlines, they are our very first priority, right? So the first thing that I think is necessary is having a good communication and being honest with them, right? So you made a mistake and you need to explain that why this happened and assure that won't happen again, right? And because they lost the faith on us, we need to do our best to fix this, right? So, of course, making sure they are our priority and this won't happen again is the beginning, but also making sure that this never happen again with other partners and, well, keeping a good communication, right? If you have the trouble that happened, you fix them and make sure that they know you fix the problem or you are fixing the problem right now. So, yes.
Okie dokie. So now we're going to have 3 questions from the floor. Okay. Lauren, I'm going to allow you to speak.
Hello, Yuri. Lorena from Planta, from IVSA Zurich, Switzerland. IVSA currently has a lot of sponsors and partners, which is very time consuming. How would you ensure that the long process of establishing new MOs MOUs is followed through during your term, and how do you plan to ensure IVSA's responsibilities for existing MOUs are acted out?
I'm sorry, wasn't this like the first question?
Oh shit, sorry.
No, Kirsty.
Oh yeah, sorry. Wait, I messed up my notes, so
Do you want to rephrase that? Because I don't want you to answer the same question.
Yeah, I want you.
Because that was a long first.
I'm sorry. I messed up my notes. It's very hard to jump around 3 meetings. um,
Lauren, can I come back to you?
Yes, you.
Yeah, thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, so gonna move on to the next one. Lisa. Oh, you already have the ability to speak. See, I was nice and
I have a
with
permanent
it.
ability to speak. What a luxury. So while Lurgan is scrambling through his notes, Yuri, I just want to ask, aside from running from MOD, you're currently also on the OC for upcoming Congress in Brazil. How do you intend to combine these two, time-wise?
Yes, thanks for this question. So yeah, I'm currently in the OC for the Congress in Brazil, but I talk a lot with some officials and some ExCo member before I assume this position. That's why I pick like one of the positions that require less work, that is the events, but also have been around 1 month from now, a month, I'm leaving the OC position for personal issues, and so I won't be having this kind of problem with me, trouble, extra work. This answered your question, Lisa?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else have questions? Okay, Lauren, I'm expecting you to have gathered your thoughts.
Yes. So, my question is, at the moment we have a lot of partners within Europe, especially. How would you make sure to get partners from other regions?
Yes, thanks for your question, Lauren. That's actually very, very good. So this is one of my goals, if elected, is to diversify our partners, to get more partners from other regions. And I guess the first thing that we need to do is use the regional teams, right? Because I'm in Brazil and the Americas, I know better from my region, but they know from theirs, right? So a way for us to diversify our partnerships is be in touch with the regional teams and ask them for suggestions, right? They live there, they know their organizations, their companies, who might be interested in sponsoring or being a partner for IVSA. So yeah, that would be like the first goal, starting a direct line with the regional reps or the regional team and asking them for good opportunities, good opinions on who to approach and how to approach. Does this answer your question, Lauren?
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you. And then we can allow one more question. Anyone have a question? Going once, going twice. All right, Yuri, I'm going to ask that you please leave so we can have a discussion.
Sure. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okie dokie. Let's see. Thank you, left. Yep. All right. So I'm going to allow one positive and one negative comment. Let's start with the negative. Any negative comments? Okay. How about a positive comment? Since y'all are feeling super positive today. Ooh. Okay. Gabriel, you should be able to speak now, I think, hopefully. No? Oh, shoot. Okay, can you type it, please? Guys, Brandon was right. Team sucks. I feel like I should have elevator music playing. No pressure. Definitely not an advocate for teams. I can tell you why you should never invest in it. Definitely can't sell the product. Yeah, seriously, we should get a Zoom discount or partnership. Okay, so Gabriel says, I've been working with Yuri since Brazil joined IVSA. He is very passionate and he gives 100% of himself in everything he does. He was the main mind behind the first IVSA symposium of the Americas region. After Javi left as regional rep, Yuri became the intern regional rep. He has been doing a great job in all the things he does. Thank you, Gabriel. All right. So let's see. No. Oh, Gabriel, now that I have you on here, can you please leave? And Nina, please leave. And then I will ask, we'll see you later. And then I will ask everyone else to come back. E. Who else has to leave? Okay, so let's see if I can give Brenda talking rights. Ah, there's two Brendas! Brenda, the one that you want to talk on, can you raise your hand, please? Because there's two accounts with the Brenda. Thank you. Okay, now I gotta make sure. Gabriel, you gotta leave. Don't make me kick you out. I don't. Oh. Okay. Leave. Y'all are making me work. Okay. Okay, Brenda, can you test your mic, please? Are you able to unmute yourself? Oh, no. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Yay.
Okay.
I was about to say, if I have to call you, this is going to be a whole nother level of difficulty.
Sorry for
Okay.
that. I took
No,
a precaution.
You're good. Okay, so I am going to ask you 3 questions. You have 2 minutes
Okay.
to answer each question. Then I'm going to give you, then the floor is going to ask 3 questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, first question is, as MOD, you work very closely with your secretaries and regional reps and ExCo. Do you have any experience with being in a leadership role or team setting, and how does this experience help you as future MOD?
Okay, fine. So let me get into my answer. So we are yet to celebrate our first IVSA MO in Appukot back in India. So I think my experience in local chapter is quite less, but previously in my schools, how I raised, I was a head girl in my school, and I was my school vice captain for my basketball team. So and also in IVSA, I am the public relations coordinator, coordinating many events, including women's, some vaccination camp. So yes, I have some prior experiences on this team play, and I'm very well equipped with that. And also, I have mentioned it in my introduction video, which I've sent it to you people. So yes, I'm totally well equipped with this team play and organizing some events. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Second question. How would you handle a conflict amongst the IVSA MOs?
Oh, sorry, once more. I it it gonna break the question.
Yeah. How would you handle conflicts between the IVSA MOs?
Okay, so that will be a challenging part if I'm selected as MOD. Yeah, obviously the MOs are the greatest asset of our IVSA family. So being diplomatic and being a good listener for the both sides, conflicts between the both side, and taking a good decision for the best will be my choice. And also I have experience in this also. Sports is always a sportsman spirit, and I've also have come across these conflicts in my previous life. So yes, I'll handle this in a diplomatic way, but still I'll give some democratic priorities for the conflicts, and I'll be a good listener for them. So that's it. That's how I will handle this conflicts.
Thank you. Okay, and last question. What new ideas would you bring to the role of MOD?
Okay, so I have just gathered some ideas. First of all, if I'm selected as MOD, I would probably go for some in a unactive or which is less active MOs. I would list it out, and I would make them, or I would give them so much opportunities to bring forth their what they are by using workshop projects, some open discussions with them, and I'll bring them up, and that will be my first priority. And second priority is I'm basically thinking of the monthly best MO team, so we can give them some chance and we can equip them with being best in IVSA. So most probably in in my term, if I select as, I will be selecting each month best MO team. And also, if any MOs are lacking some financial support, some emotional support, I am ready to give, and I will be a great, and I'll give some monthly regional meetings I'll arrange, and I'll get some feedback forms from my colleagues or my regional reps, and I will get periodically updated to all my MOs. So these are my some of the programs which comes in my mind when I'm selected as MOD. And yes, the most attractive part will be the selection of the best MOT monthly. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now I will allow 3 questions from the floor, and you will still have the 2-minute max to answer each question.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions? None? No questions? Oh, Lisa, thank you. Oh, you still have the right. Wow, I must really like you. Okay.
You know, I always have questions. So, Brenda, glad to see you made it. I was wondering, have you been in touch with previous MODs, and have you learned something from their experience?
Not really, because I was certainly that if I am selected, I would go. But I have done my some homeworks on this symposium previously, so I could get some ideas from them also. So not personally, but social media, through social media and YouTube channel of IVSA Global, I have heard their speeches. That's it. I'm personally no connections.
Thank you, Lisa. Does anyone else have a question? Okay. Seeing as we don't have any other questions, Brenda, I ask that you please leave so we can have a
Okay.
discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I will allow a negative comment now. You have 1 minute. Any negative comments? No, okay. Positive comments. Righty then. Okay. Kavya, can you see if you can talk? I think I gave you the right. If you can't, then you could also put it in chat. Okay, while we wait for the chat, I wish Teams would have those little buttons that let you know people are typing. That would be nice. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so the comment is, I know Brenda for the past 4 years. She was a pro in our MO. She is a vibrant person and always ready to accept challenges, even though she doesn't have experience in global team. I believe she will be able to do this. Perfect. Thank you for your positive comment. Now that our discussion is over, I will ask Gabriel to please come back. So hold on, sorry, bear with me again. Why can't fine. Message. Daniel, help me. I can't find his number. Or Yuri, can you ask Gabriel to come back? Thank you. Okay. And just so you guys know, if we're unable to if you're unable to unmute yourself for any reason and you have to use the chat, if you could please message Daniel, and he provided his number, and he will read out your comment or question. That way we can make this a little bit easier, hopefully. Thank you, and we will see if Gabriel comes back. Perfect. Let me give you speaking rights. Okay. Could you test your mic, please? Oh no, don't tell me you're unable to. Can you unmute yourself? Oh no, we had this problem before, didn't we? Okay, so I'm gonna have to call you. Ah! Okay. Can you message me on WhatsApp so I can call you? I can't find your number. Guys, we're doing great here, you know. keeping this lively. Fun times for the books. All right. I am going to call you, hopefully.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. My battery is running a little bit low, so we'll see how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get right to it. Okay. So first three questions are going to come from me. The rest are going to come from the floor, and you have 2 minutes to answer. Okay. So first question is: as MOD, you work very closely with your secretariats, your regional reps, and ExCo. Do you have experience in a leadership role or team setting, and how does this experience help you in the future MOD role?
Okay, so to begin my question, I need to say that I had a lot of experience during my graduation time, during my time at school. I'm still enrolled at vet school, but during the first years of vet school, I was part of a lot of different committees and a lot of different academic institutions, and yes, I had experience with that. But also, I was the one leading our MO to join IVSA. All that process, I was leading that process, and also I was the first president of our MO. So that was my first experience of leadership within IVSA. And also, I'm the president for the Congress that's gonna be in Brazil in next year. So those are my experiences in leadership. But yes, I have more experience with talking to different people from different cultures within IVSA, because I was part of the MOD team for the last term. I was at the regional team for the Americas as recruitment officer, so I talked to different countries. We were from different countries within the regional team, and I had contact with people from the MOD team as well. So I have both experience in leadership and experience talking to different people and managing that.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so second question is, how would you handle a conflict amongst the IVSA MOs?
Okay, so for that, it's important that we know that different MOs from different regions, they have different backgrounds and different cultures. So that's one main thing that as MOD is important for us to understand that. Even within the same region, different MOs, they have different cultures and different backgrounds. So understanding that and respecting that is the first step for being a good MO in my perspective. Solving conflicts, it's important that you can manage people really well, and also you can communicate really well. So using this ability and this skills to communicate really well, you need to set it clear that there's some rights and there's no space for prejudice within IVSA, for example. So you need to manage the basic rights for all the members and understand why that conflict became a conflict at first place. Talk to the parts that are responsible for that conflict, understanding their background and trying to solve it as the best way possible. So these are probably the way I would manage that. And of course, it also depends on what is that conflict, you know?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now, last question for me is, what new ideas would you bring to the role of MOD?
So I have a few ideas. So Nabila, I think, started this one-on-one meetings. So she should have meetings with people from all the regional teams, just she and just her and another member of the MOD team. I think I'll continue that. I would also include team building meetings, so just meetings that we can connect and know each other better. And also, I would try to encourage the regional teams, the members from the regional teams, to attend to the ExCo meeting, because the MOD needs to be a bridge between ExCo and between the members, the regular members of IVSA. And to be this bridge, everyone needs to know and understand what's happening within IVSA, what's happening and what's been decided during the meetings. And for that, to help me with that, to help me to spread the word and the information of IVSA to all the regular members, I would encourage the regional teams and the members from the regional teams to attend ExCo meetings, because there is where most of the decisions are made. So that would be probably one of my primary goals.
Thank you. Okay, so now I will accept 3 questions from the floor. And then again, you'll have 2 minutes to answer them if we have any questions. Any questions? Lisa, you may speak now.
Hello, hi Gabriel. I was just wondering, you're running for MOD, but you're also currently on the OC for the Brazil Congress. How do you intend to combine these tasks and still have enough time for being an MOD?
Sorry. Okay. Can you start?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, they should be able to hear you.
Okay. So at first, I was a little bit reluctant to apply for the MOD position just because of that. But I talked to some officials and to former MODs, and yes, they said, well, you should understand that better and see if you're gonna have time for that. But the thing is, for me, I don't have classes anymore. I don't have exams, because I'm done with all the classes at vet school, but I'm still enrolled at vet school. So what I'm gonna do is I'm postponing my graduation so I can spend most of my time during the next term, the next year, taking care only of IVSA business. So taking care of the Congress, because I want to manage and I want to make a great Congress for all the delegates. And also, if I'm elected as MOD, I want to be able to give my time to be a really good MOD and to manage really well all the MOs and all the members. So that is my primary plan. But for the OC, even though we are the only MO in Brazil, we have a great team. We have a team with more than 30 people. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be doable. Just because of that, I'm gonna be primary doing IVSA things for the next year.
Okay, perfect. All right. Any more questions? No more questions. Okay. If you could please leave so we can have a discussion, and then I will text you when you can come back. Okay?
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much. And if anyone has any other questions, you can ask me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay, and he left. Perfect. All right, so I will accept a negative comment now if anyone has a negative comment. Okay, how about a positive comment? Who has a positive comment? Okay. Ahmed, you should be able to speak now.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
I worked with Gab in a regional team, and guys, he is a super active person. We worked together on a lot of tasks and projects. He has a perfect way of communication and intelligent way solving problem. So I think he is a perfect person for that position.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we are done with Gabriel. Now we can ask Nina to come back. Right, hold on, bear with me. You're illegal. I told you not to do that. Okay, disregard that comment. I don't know how to delete. I don't think I can delete it. Okay, let's see. Nina, did you come back? Is Nina back? There's too many chats. I can't focus. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have to call Nina. Oh, wait. She saw my message. Let's see. Hopefully, next time we'll be able to do this live. That way it would go smoother. All right, Nina, I think you have the ability to speak. Hopefully. Can you unmute?
I do, thank you. Do you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Awesome.
This is great. All right. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You have 2 minutes to answer each question. Then the floor will ask 3 questions. Okay. First question. As MOD, you work very closely with your secretariats, your regional reps, and ExCo. Do you have experience with a leadership role or team setting, and how does this experience help you as future MOD?
Okay, thank you for such a lovely question. Well, most of you probably know that I'm CC at the moment, so I already have the whole team running, and I already have secretaries and chairs. So I would say that I am experienced in this, and also something that is very related to the MOD thing is that I, together with a colleague of mine, we established one MO, I mean my MO. So I believe that will help me a lot. So, yeah.
Okay, second question. How would you handle conflict amongst the IVSA MOs?
Well, I would try like the easy way because I believe we are all responsible adults. So I'm lucky that we have renewed code of conduct, and I would go for adults being responsible. So I would just remind them to go through code of conduct and try and act respectfully to one another, and then hopefully that would solve at least majority of the problems. And then if it's something um, a bit harder, so then we could always arrange some meeting and then see what the problem is so we can discuss it.
Thank you. And now the last question. What new ideas would you bring to the role of MOD?
Well, about new ideas. Well, I believe I will have like very creative team, and I would like us all to work together on something new. For now, I'm most excited about the parts that about roles that are already like the MOD's roles, like involvement of new countries, new MOs, and I would like to focus a bit on developing non-developed MOs, which I think is very important. And then hopefully together with my team, who has to work on all the new ideas, we'll come up with something. Because I'm not alone here. I'm not just the MOD as a person. We are MOD as the team. So that's why I would like to have my team involved in creating new ideas.
Okay, perfect. Now I will allow 3 questions from the floor. Does anyone have a question? Any questions? Lisa, oh, you still have the, you still have the ability to talk.
You know, I always have a question. Hi, Nina. So I was wondering, well, since the corona situation is keeping going a bit longer than we expected, what are some things that we started to do in IVSA, like online exchanges, you think MOD can continue maybe after the pandemic?
I'm not sure I understood the question well. Did you ask, like, can we continue the online exchanges?
No, so are there some specific ideas that have started during the corona pandemic, or some examples you've learned from other MOs that you think should be continued throughout MOD? For example, online exchanges.
Yeah, like online exchanges. Yeah, they are like a new step in the IVSA in general. And I also think that not only exchanges one by one country, but they also made group exchanges where a few countries were involved, and I think that's very interesting, and that's not so often. It was happening while we had our live exchanges, but not so often. So I think that's also a new idea that happened during the pandemic.
Right, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, and the regional meetings, they turned out to be very useful, and especially in some regions where MOs were actively MOs were very actively involved in all those meetings. It showed up to be awesome, at least from what I've heard from the previous MOG team.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okie dokie. Nina, my love, can you leave, please? Okay, and then we will have our discussion once I confirm she left. Our list is very long. Okay. Okie dokie. I will allow a well, let's do negative comment first, since usually there's none. Any negative comments? Okay. How about a positive comment? Any positive comments? None? No positive comments? Going once? Going twice? Okie dokie. That concludes our time. I'm going to ask everyone to come back, and then I will give the closing statements. Okay. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so Yuri, actually, could you leave, please? Sorry. I'll text you and you can come back. Sorry. Sorry, guys. We are all over the place with this technology right now. Okay, so he left. Since Yuri got 3 positive comments in the chat, it's only fair that, oh, is Navisha here? Navisha, can you, oh, I'm just gonna kick you out, sorry. Okay. There's too much going on right now. Okay, so since Yuri got 3 positive comments, Navisha only got 1. If I can have 2 more positive comments about Navisha to keep it fair. Then thank you. Okay, Lisa, you may speak.
So positive comment for Navisha. Navisha has been involved in IVSA Global through the Standing Committee on Wellness, first as committee member, then as a chair. And I think she has really shown a lot of growth over that time. And I think what's going to help her in a position as an arrow is what she did in her current term as a chair. She collaborated with a lot of international organizations that are currently doing projects on wellness. And I think that gave her a lot of good experience into talking to partners, not per se as sponsorships or monetary funds, but I think that is a skill that she already practiced and therefore can easily apply once she becomes an arrow.
Thank you, Lisa. One more positive comment, please. Okay. Oh, I think we have this. Can you test your mic, Anishka? I think
Hi.
you'll be able to speak.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I had the opportunity of working under Navisha in SCAO. So I was the secretary. And I noticed that, first of all, she has a really nice personality that makes the other person feel really comfortable. And, it's not always extremely formal. So I think that's a very good trait. Other than that, I think, like Lisa mentioned, she has done wonderful work within the committee by, talking to these other organizations and external relations already, and she had a good understanding of how the MOUs work and the kind of stuff and details that are required. And I think the other thing that is very important is she's very particular about deadlines, and as Yaro, that is essential. So I think, yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, so let me ask everyone to come back. Thank you guys for bearing with me and this chaos that is COVID. Okay, and then I was supposed to make another announcement. Okay, since Nina and Lauren, you're here, just so everyone knows, if they are not elected for their positions in ExCo, their nominations will automatically be converted for nominations for Europe regional rep. So just use their recordings now to kind of make your judgment for that as well. And Brenda, if Brenda isn't elected for her position that she's running for, her nomination will automatically be converted for a nomination for Asia regional rep. And for Yuri, if Yuri is not elected for the position he is running, his nomination will be turned to secretary nomination. And for those of you who might be wondering why this is a thing, our ExCo nominees are usually given a choice because of our bylaws. They could either have their nomination be considered for regional rep or secretariat if they are not elected for their ExCo position. And this is what they chose. So please make sure that at the end of this, before next Sunday, you guys look at the delegate drive and look at the elections documents, watch this recording as well as the other recordings you may have missed, and kind of make your judgment based on that. And I think we are done. Thank you guys. You all did so great. Proud of all of you. Public speaking is definitely not a fun thing, especially over the computer when technology just seems to hate us a lot for some reason. But proud of all of you. You did great. And I'm excited to see what happens from here on out. Daniel, do you have anything to add that I may have missed?
I would like to thank Ellen Hernandez for providing us with a lot of laughs, along with Adnan from Morocco, also looking silly the whole time. So we remembered to have Ellen laugh, right? So yeah, that's about it. We figured everything out, and thank you for bearing with us through technical difficulties. It has to happen no matter how much we prepare. So it hasn't been too bad, and hopefully it'll be even this worse during the GA next weekend. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the educational weekend. Have a good Sunday or good Monday morning, depending on where you are.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Love you guys.
Guys, stop. Slovenia still has to speak, right?
Do they? No, they're just elected, right? Daniel?
I am thinking. I believe he should speak here, but I will quickly make sure of something.
Sorry, guys, we didn't forget about you. We were very excited when we saw your name pop up for nominee. So don't worry. We're still
like
excited.
I think formally, like at least you should be able to say something, and then you can upload a video or something later. That's what we did last year.
So the verdict is that we usually have the symposium or congress speak despite running unopposed. It is, as far as I'm aware, not a requirement, but it is something we usually do because it's nice to learn more about the events despite them not having to actually run for anything, right? Or compete against it. So, Method Kolch from Slovenia. Do you have a presentation and do you want to provide it?
I think you're unable. You're able to.
Oh, you're unable to unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're able to.
I would recommend you restart Teams and come back because we would very much like to hear your presentation when you have made it. Oh, okay. You're texting. You're texting.
This is great. Oh, that's it. Okay, so the comment was that he just wanted to thank Medi for the nomination, and they are very grateful and lucky. And we are very lucky that we are able to experience an event, hopefully live event. Hopefully, I hope by then the world has everything figured out. If not, then we're in trouble. Because Ellen can't stay at home forever. So hopefully we will see you live. And we look forward to your presentation in GA. Okay. I think that's it then. Thank you guys for the laughs, for your patience, because I am not the best at technology, as you have seen from my previous presentations as well. Remember, this recording is on the drive, and we will see you next week. Have a good rest of your day. Lots of love. Bye.